Hello everyone, welcome to Talking Reds, and in this episode we're going to be looking at one person and one person only, the Egyptian king Mohamed Salah. He is on course to break record after record after record. He's already broken many records, but myself and Naj are going to be looking at specifically goals, assists, golden boots and PFA Player of the Year awards. How far can he go up to in the list of these lists? Obviously, the goal scoring record is held by Alan Shearer in the Premier League. The assist record is held by Ryan Giggs in the Premier League. Mohamed Salah has 2 PFA Premier League awards. I think if he wins one more, he goes above everyone else. Only Ronaldo and De Bruyne have won the PFA Player of the Year award consecutive seasons. And in terms of golden boots as well, he currently sits on 3 alongside Harry Kane, Alan Shearer. One more, obviously, this season it looks like it's going to be. He sits on top with Thierry Henry on 4. Could he beat Thierry Henry for most golden boots as well? So that's what we're going to be looking at in this episode. So let's start with the goals as we start now. Mohamed Salah is currently on 185 Premier League goals, 2 behind Andy Cole, and the next one after that is 23 behind Wayne Rooney. We're going to look at the whole goal-scoring league table. How far do you think myself and Naj think Mohamed Salah could get up? So, top of the leaderboard is Alan Shearer, 260 goals. Absolutely incredible. I mean, 75 goals in 2 seasons plus 4 games, Naj. That's what Salah needs to catch up Alan Shearer. Ridiculous. Harry Kane then sits on 213, Wayne Rooney on 208, Andy Cole on 187, and Mohamed Salah on 185, just one in front of Sergio Aguero. So the next one after Alan Shearer is Kane on 213, 28 goals behind Harry Kane. So, Naj, 4 games left, 2 seasons left then for Mohamed Salah. Where can he end up on this goal-scoring list?
I think this season he's going to take over Andy Cole. I think I remember reading something a couple of weeks ago. It's the first person to consecutively take over like multiple players in the top 10 in a season. I think he's took over 4 or 5 this year. I believe. I think he'll take over Andy Cole. He obviously needs 2 goals, 4 games left. You know, he's going for that 30 goals. You can quite clearly see that. So he's going to be 4th, isn't he? 4th before the end of the season. Joint 4th, possibly even ahead on 4th. But I think Alan Shearer is too far ahead. I think it's just a little bit too much.
75 goals.
Yeah. I mean,
the next 2 seasons of 4 games.
30 goals, isn't it? You know.
Say he gets 2 more goals. I'll say he gets 3 more goals just to round it up a little bit to 72 goals. That's a 36 game season, both seasons on average.
Yeah, I believe he'll take over Harry Kane, and that's me being honest. Because if you go off the law of averages with Salah, the way he scores goals is what is he 25, 27 off Harry Kane?
He is. Let's have a look. 30. No, sorry. Yeah, 27. Yeah, 28 off Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. So you know, say he scores them 2-3 goals before the end of the season. You know that only makes him 24 off Harry Kane. That's 2 seasons. So Salah going to score 24 goals in 2 seasons, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even a debate. I think he'll finish on 2nd. I'll be very surprised if he gets. Well, I wouldn't say I'd be very surprised. Like he's got it in him, but I think it's just that little bit too much. You know, obviously with his age, and you know, Alan Shearer played his entire career in the Premier League, and to get to as close as that with only playing I don't really count Chelsea, but you know, playing 10 years in the Prem. To get that close there, you know, to Alan Shearer is absolutely incredible. Like, you know, we've got to think of the other players like Andy Cole, entire pretty much in the Prem. You know, Aguero was over 10 years, wasn't he? He's taken over Aguero. You know, and the thing is, what I always think is people always look at it and go, oh yeah, these are all strikers. He's the only winger in that top 10.
Yeah, there's only one really up there in terms of top 10 is probably Lampard.
Yeah.
In terms of is in 7th. Other than that, they're all strikers.
Yeah.
Right down to Defoe, Fowler, Henry, Lampard, Aguero, Salah, Cole, Rooney, Kane, Shearer.
All strikers.
Yeah.
It's insane. But yeah, in terms of assists as well, he's on 160, isn't he? Or something, is it?
Yeah, we'll go for assists. So I do think I do think Salah, 28 goals behind Gary Kane. That's what, if he gets 2 more, like you said, this time, he needs 26, 13 goals a season.
Yeah.
What do you think, in fact, before we do go to assists, what do you think he will finish on? Just give me a number. So let's go back to this in 2 years' time now. So let's go back to this and see how close we were in terms of number.
I'm going to go with...
You can work it out mathematically if you want to see how many things he's going to get this season, how many next season.
I'm going to go with 25 a season for next 2 seasons. I think that's possible for...
So that's 50. Do you think he's going to score any more than now for the next 4 games?
I think he'll probably get 2, I'd imagine, 2 or 3.
So 52 onto that would be 237.
Yeah, I'd probably say that's about right, yeah.
237. I'm going to say he's going to score, I'm going to say 2 more this season. So it puts us on 187. I think next season he'll get 22.
Mm.
And I think the season after he will get 23. I think it'll be quite similar, but I don't think it'll be as high as this season. I just think someone else, if a striker comes in, might take a lot of goals with him.
Yeah, I mean...
22 and 23 for me. So that's what, 45 plus the 2, 47. Added on to that would be 132.
Yeah, I'd say between...
132, sorry.
I'd say if I was going to put in a ballpark between 120 and 140, I think that's what he'll finish on.
220 and 240, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably... And do you know what? Like, people say Salah's not one of the best players to play in the Prem. If that's not anything to say, I think the debate is between Henry now. I think it really is. Like,
it is, yeah, absolutely.
It's ridiculous. Like, he's like say 10 years he's played in the Premier League and he's on that many goals. That's like, obviously his 20 odd goals a season ratio, which is insane. I know he's on pens, but I kind of think. At the minute, though, it kind of suits Salah because, we've seen the change in the system of the way Slot plays. Salah is the focal point of the attack, which obviously, you're going to give it to your best player, aren't you?
Yeah.
But, like this season, he's just proved as well. Like, I mean, I've never thought he's not been a bad... People always like, he's selfish, stuff like that. He's never been selfish. It's just a false narrative. I think, you look at his assists nearly every season, he's got like 10 plus, which is good. Some players don't even get 5 plus when they play in the wing. This season, obviously, he's on 18 and he's on 28 goals. Like, that is, like, you never see that. You never see them numbers, do you? Ever. So, this season's like a legacy season, if you like. Like Omri had his legacy season.
Yeah.
This is Salah's legacy season. And, 2 more goals, 2 more assists. He's got the best legacy season in the Prem because 50 goal involvements is just... That's
ridiculous. 30 goals, 20 assists, that's absolutely a joke. An absolute joke. I don't know if he wants... I think, I think he wants the assist one more than the goals.
Yeah.
Just because it's a new record.
Yeah. Because didn't De Bruyne get... Omri got 20, didn't he, back in the day? 20 goals, 20 assists.
20, yeah. But I think he beats... If he can beat Henry's assists, that's even better.
Yeah.
But if he can join him, at least he's got the 28, 30 goals. But did Henry get 2020? I think it was.
Yeah, Henry was 2020, and then I think De Bruyne got 21 season, though. Didn't he got 20 assists, De Bruyne, I think? Or 19 or something like that. I think when the... not a treble season, I think it was the season before, possibly, when he was just insane. But yeah, I think, if he beats the assist record, that is... I mean, that's another record he's broken. It's the always thing on Twitter you see, only Salah, in
a single season.
The only fans logo.
that actually gently, and as we do on here, we gently move on to the next thing that we're going to talk about, and it gently moves smoothly, nicely into assists, because we're going to talk about assists now. So, Mohamed Salah is currently 10th on the list of most assists in Premier League history on 87. Right, Ryan Giggs top, 162.
Yeah.
Another one I don't think he's going to catch. So, top is 162, Ryan Giggs. De Bruyne on 119. Fabregas 111. Rooney 103. Lampard 102. Bergkamp 94. Silva 93. Gerrard 92. Milner 89. And Mohamed Salah 87. So, the best he can probably get right now is 75 off Giggs. Into a season, not a chance. I mean, even De Bruyne's a push 32 behind De Bruyne, and he's still not finished yet this season.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say with assists because I think if we bring a big striker in the summer, I think Salah's
massively
through the roof. Like this season, I've seen a couple of clips, like, and I mean, I've seen it with your eyes as well. Like the last, when people said, "Oh, Salah's dipped in form," the amount of balls he's put in, like on a plate, and they've just not been finished off. So it's been a continuation of what's happened all season, though. Like, Nunez and Jota have been so wasteful in front of goal, and Salah should have another probably 10, 15 assists. I'm not even like some of them have been on an absolute plate, and he's not. It's not been finished off. So I mean, it all depends on the striker, doesn't it? If you bring another striker, I think Salah really does rank up on them, assist charts, because, with Trent going as well, Salah's a creative player. Like, you're losing the creativity, so it's going to go even more through Salah. The sort of like the attacks and stuff, and then outside the footballs he does. So I believe, I don't know. I think he'll get to Bergkamp next season. What's that? 86 he's on now. He's on 94.
Yeah.
8 assists is that? Yeah. I think he'll.
So he's at 87 now. Is 2 behind Milner, 5 behind Gerrard, 6 behind Silva, 7 behind Bergkamp.
Yeah.
And then is 15 behind Lampard, 16 behind Rooney. I think they're the ones potentially it could be the closest. Maybe Fabregas, but that's 24 behind Fabregas. 24 behind Fabregas.
Yeah.
Again, like an elite striker would change that potentially. I mean, this is why the whole Lampard-Gerrard debate, when they start bringing stats out, Gerrard didn't have a Drogba to pass to all the time. He had Torres a couple of seasons, Suarez a couple of seasons, but not all the time. He had, Lampard went from Drogba to Costa. He didn't go in between with David Ngog and in between, and Andre Varanen in between. He didn't do that. He went from class striker to class striker. Even like the ones that didn't fail were Crespo, Shevchenko, class strikers at the time. So it's hard to compare. And again, with Gerrard with the goals, he'd have got more goals in a Lampard system with better players around him most of the time.
It did, like, the stats do, like, obviously they are a big like thing of football and stuff. But yeah, like you say, like, I mean, obviously most people think Gerrard. I think most people think Gerrard is like the most complete footballer that's played in the Premier League. He is. And Lampard is probably one of the best goal scorers in terms of midfielders, which he is. I always rated Lampard. I thought he was a great player. I don't think Scholes had never been in that debate. I mean, he was good, Scholes. I'm not going to discredit him. He's just not the levels of Gerrard and Lampard. But it's always that the debate is always. But it's got some truth in it. You put Gerrard in that United team. You put Gerrard in that Chelsea team. He's better than them both. He's getting more goals than both. He's getting more assists than both. So, I mean, some people may argue, you could say the same about Salah, but I don't think you really can with Salah, because there's been so many good teams, like with Liverpool, and Chelsea was good in 2017 and stuff when Salah come. They won the league, obviously. City have won the league many times since Salah's been here. But like Salah's just always been that sort of. He's always just got the numbers. Like he's inevitable
thing.
Yeah, he's too consistent not to be in the debates to be one of the best players in the Prem. He is one of the best players in the Prem era. But like with the assists, I do think Fabregas is. Yeah, it's catchable. What's 111?
Yeah, so 24 behind.
It's doable in 2 seasons. If he has another season next season where he gets like 20 odd goals and nearly 20 assists, if he has that next season, he's well on his way to getting it in his last season. And I think it'll be close. I think you'll probably get beat Fabregas. I'm going to be honest, but it all depends on whether we bring in an elite.
Yeah. Yes, it is doable, but the likelihood is probably it's on the edge, of like out of reach in terms of assists. But like you said, if a class striker, I mean, De Bruyne's had Aguero to pass to and Haaland to pass to, and Salah at the moment is passing to fucking Darwin Núñez. So it's a big difference. It does make a massive difference in terms of assists anyway, certainly. I mean, he's got to go above Milner, 2 behind Milner. Gerrard is going above Gerrard, 5 behind. I think he'll come 4th above Rooney. So he is 16 assists behind Rooney over 2 seasons.
8 assists, and that's not counting this season. I think he'll get the 20 this season.
I think he's got to do it in 2 seasons. So it's a 20. Was it 24 behind Fabregas over 2 seasons? He should be doing that, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean it's not.
So 2 seasons, 24 behind Fabregas.
12 assists both seasons.
32 behind De Bruyne. That's the only one that could be pushing, actually. 32 behind De Bruyne. He hasn't finished yet. 32 is what, averaging 16 assists a season.
Yeah.
I think that's gettable if he really has that elite striker.
Yeah. I mean, I think, Diaz has been great this season at like getting on them, and Gakpo as well, getting on them balls at the back post, and Salah always looks for that. I think we've struggled with this season is when Salah's put the ball in the middle, apart from McAllister coming in them late runs and heading it in, or Soboslai. We haven't really... Curtis Jones, we haven't done anything from like, in that sort of like the danger zone, if you like. I know the back posts are like, obviously, they're very hard to mark, but in that sixpence, isn't he, right in the middle? And there's just... there's not like Jota's usually absolutely clinical as anything in the air, or
he hasn't been that this season, yeah.
And then obviously, I mean, Lee said the better about Nunes, I'd say. I think it's all like almost like a percentage. I think if you get like, you've probably got, I don't know, like 20%. You may score a goal, you put the ball back post. 20% it was on Salah's side, and then in the middle it's like 1% you're going to score now. And I think if you get up that to like 20%. You're going to score a goal, and he's going to get more. He's going to really get more assists.
So from assists back to goals, and we're going to look at is it goals I'm looking at? Yeah, the most golden boots so far. So Salah sits on 3 alongside Kane, Shearer, but this season he is 6 goals clear. That golden boot's done. Let's be honest, 4 games left. Isaac's has had an incredible season, but that Premier League, that golden boot is done. And if they have a tie with someone, he's 12 assists above. He's 12 assists above Isaac, so he essentially gets the golden boot for most assists as well. So, but yeah, 6 goals ahead. That's another golden boot to his name. Tied top now, Thierry Henry. Can he get clear of Henry of the golden boots? He's got 2 seasons to get 1 more.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on that big Norwegian fella, doesn't it? If he starts firing next season, I think Isak as well. I mean, bringing Liverpool, I won't mind giving it him. But
imagine, like, say Isak goes to Arsenal. Arsenal will get a striker. Isak or Gyökeres. They can score some goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like it's like with Salah, because he's done it multiple seasons, and he's been in Golden Boot race, and he's been finding them, and he's I mean, last season he was doing up until like Christmas, he was flying, wasn't he? He was like top of the goals and assists, until he went to AFCON, and then he got injured. He quite happily put a World Cup in December. Why don't they do it then? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like January is such like because it's a transfer window and stuff as well. Like, I think, they did it in December and say, I mean, this is never going to happen. It's FSG. Salah got injured last season. Would have probably put up the ramp and tried to bring like a new target in. I don't know. We don't. Obviously, we don't do this, but we have done it in the past with Diaz and Gakpo. But, last season, I think, we brought someone in to like cover Salah. Would have been better, like, I think. But obviously it didn't happen. But, I'm just speaking in... I'm speaking in like, well, it's probably going to be a bit of rubbish.
I get it though. I do get it. We've got to think like that, but we shouldn't have to think like that.
No. Yeah. But yeah, I think he goes to AFCON, doesn't he, next year? I believe.
Yeah. So that could again ruin his chance of getting. Could ruin everything here. Like, everything that we're talking about right now could ruin everything, because if he goes over there, he could even get injured over there, like he did last time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not blaming Egypt or anything like that, and they've obviously got a lot of great facilities and stuff like that. But, like, he came back, didn't he, for his treatment, because I believe that it was better at Liverpool, which I presume it will be anyway, because of just the money involved with the football club. But, I feel like Salah last season, like, he could have probably... What did Haaland finish on last season? Was it 30 goals or something?
32, wasn't it? Didn't he break the record last season, or was it the season before? Last season, wasn't it?
Season before, yeah. So I think, Salah last season, he was on 14 or 15 at Christmas. He'd have probably kept going if he'd not gone to AFCON. He'd probably looking at like 20, 22 goals by the end of January, like, because of the rate he was firing at. I'm obviously speaking with AFCON not being involved, But he could have probably finished on 30 goals last season, like exactly the same as this season. Like he's probably going to finish on 30 goals. Could have done that last season as well. But unfortunately, he finished on. I don't know what he finished on actually. Can't remember. He did score a few when he come back, didn't he? But he didn't look right, did he? But I don't know.
The question is, will he take over Henry in terms of will he get to 5 golden boots? He's got 2 seasons to do it. He's going to join him on 4 this season.
No,
like I said, Haaland's here. He's still in the thing. Arsenal's going to get a striker. We might get a striker.
I don't think he will. I think he'll be on the same as like Henry. I don't think he'll take over him just for the pure fact that there's no like with hang on 1 second. There's no with in terms of like with Salah and Henry and stuff, like I think obviously there's more strikers coming in, so it's just going to be very difficult for him to sort of get that that lead on anyone because of the way he he's going to be competing with all the other strikers.
Yeah.
It's just one.
You're saying he doesn't get it. I think
may get one.
Put my neck on the line. I don't think he does. Just because of the striker, if depending on what striker we get as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he ends up on 4, which he's going to get this season. But I think he'll be close. I think he'd love to get it. I think next 2 seasons he's going to be determined to get that, get most of that. PFA Player of the Year, though, however, he's going to win it this year. He's going to get the most this year. So there's only players that are on 2 so far, PFA Player of the Year, and that are Mark Hughes, Alan Shearer, Thierry Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo, Gareth Bale, De Bruyne and Salah have only won it on 2 occasions. Salah's going to win it this year. That could be 3. So he's already taken over that, but can he win it again? Can he get clear? So, and also, De Bruyne and Ronaldo are the only ones that have won it consecutive seasons.
Yeah.
Shearer's the only one that's won it 2 different teams, but he's not going to do that. But can he also do it consecutive seasons as well? Can he join Ronaldo and De Bruyne on that?
Yeah.
Do you think?
I think he can. I think he can get another one. I do think he can get another one, even if he's not top goal scorer. If, say we win the league next year or something, and he's insane again, I think he could win another one. I believe reading the other day he's the first player to win. Well, he's going to win it. Golden Boot and Playmaker twice. I think he's the first.
Yeah.
So that's another record, May as well just imagine he's writing all this on his wall. He'd have to get.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? How many records he's breaking is just ridiculous. That's why I have to make this episode. That's why I want to do a stream, because it's just when you really deep things, it's just crazy that he's come into this team, a team that wasn't really fighting for titles when he came in, and now he's just breaking every single record that's going around.
He's made us win titles, really, hasn't
he? Yeah.
He is the. Mane and obviously Firmino were great. They were great. They were superb. Van Dijk and Alisson come in. That's obviously shored up the defence. But in terms of attacking, he's Mr. Reliable. Like he gets you the goals. Goals win your games, don't they? So he is the man.
So everyone, myself and Naj both think Mohamed Salah will finish 2nd in the all-time top goal scorer in the Premier League. In the assists, we think he will finish. I think we both say 3rd or 4th. 3rd. Well, let's go 3rd. Let's go 3rd above Fabregas, behind De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Let's go for 3rd in the all-time assists in the Premier League. We think he finishes joint with Thierry Henry on the most golden boots, so we don't think he's going to win another one after this season. But he will certainly push it. He will push as hard as he can to get that. And we all know already he's going to win the PFA Player of the Year, so he will finish top of that. Can he win another one and go 2 clear of the next one? That's for all up for debate. That is all to be witnessed over the next 2 years. But whatever happens over the next 2 years, Mohamed Salah is the greatest Premier League player ever. Is that right? Let me know in the